these combined strength, a new energy business will help India become a net exporter of green energy. It will also strengthen indigenous R&D base and make India a reservoir of intellectual property. Most importantly, Reliance aspires to make India a world leader in new energy manufacturing and a credible alternative to China. Of course, we have a long way to go, but we are approaching this business with utmost sincerity, dedication, commitment, and focus. The work done over the past 1 year gives me immense confidence that we will make this ambition a reality in the shortest possible time. India's transition, as also the world's transition from fossil fuels to renewables, will provide Reliance with an opportunity for continuous hyper growth over many decades. Our Reliance Foundation continues to do outstanding work on all their focus areas. May I now invite Isha Ambani to update us on the plans of the foundation.
Thank you, Chairman. Dear shareholders, I would now like to share Reliance Foundation's impact and plans. Under the leadership of my mother, Srimati Neeta Ambani, Reliance Foundation has carried out a range of activities in addition to our extensive COVID relief initiatives. This past year, Reliance Foundation touched the lives of over 63 million people across 60,000 villages and urban locations across India. In rural transformation, we have helped over 14.5 million people earn better livelihoods and lead better lives. In disaster management, our teams provided support to over 1 million people in overcoming 47 natural disasters across 19 states and 3 union territories. In healthcare, Sir H.N. Reliance Foundation Hospital has earned the reputation as one of the best healthcare institutions in the world. And we have accelerated the rollout of our remote health consultations. In education, in addition to continuing our focus in the various programs and initiatives, I'm happy to share the launch of 2 new institutions. Geo Institute has commenced academic sessions this year. We welcomed the first batch of 120 students last month for postgraduate programs in artificial intelligence, data science, and digital marketing. And we will launch the Neeta Mukesh Ambani Junior School as an expansion to the Dhirubhai Ambani International School this year. This year, we will also be scaling up our efforts to support early childhood care and education to benefit millions of children, especially from underprivileged communities. We are partnering with international organizations to address learning losses in the foundational literacy and numeracy amongst children due to the pandemic. And we are partnering with global and Indian organizations in women empowerment to empower 10 lakh women entrepreneurs in rural communities in 3 years, and additionally to create new solutions for digital inclusion for over 3 lakh women. Sports continues to be a key focus area for us. Through our Education and Sports for All program, we have so far touched the lives of 21.5 million children and youth in India. Reliance Foundation recently partnered with the Indian Olympic Association to support our athletes at the Olympic Games, Commonwealth Games, Asian Games, and National Games. It is very exciting that through this partnership, we will be hosting the first ever India House at the upcoming Paris 2024 Olympics. This will be a great opportunity to showcase India's immense talent, potential, and aspiration to the Olympic world. We are working on a 10-year blueprint for our foundation that will be bigger and more impactful, and will share the plans with you in the coming year. I would once again like to thank my mother for her dedication and energizing leadership to the entire team at the Reliance Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you, Isha. At Reliance, business and philanthropy go hand in hand. Both are inspired by the same we care philosophy to improve the lives of our people so that no Indian is left behind. All my most valued stakeholders, I shall conclude with something that is very close to my heart and is absolutely critical for the ever expanding growth of Reliance in the decades to come. Reliance began its journey as a listed company 45 years ago. It was small, very small when it was born. A single room office with just two tables and a shared landline phone in a crowded marketplace in old Mumbai. And our founder and my father, Sri Dhirubhai Ambani, had a mighty big vision and soaring ambition. Also, an indomitable willpower to translate his vision into action, surmounting the stiffest of obstacles that came his way. Today, Reliance has grown into one of the world's largest and most valuable business enterprises. Indeed, it has become the pride of India as a national institution. But I would like everyone in our Reliance family to always remember two things. One, even when Reliance becomes much bigger in the future, which it surely will always carry our founders' pioneering spirit. Two, even when Reliance further expands its global footprint in the future, which it surely will, it will retain its Indian soul and its proud Indian identity. Patriotism inspires and energizes everything we do every single day in Reliance. Dear friends, it has been my personal privilege to have attended every single AGM of Reliance in the past 45 years. This year, 2022, is a happy milestone in my 45-year-long association with Reliance. I complete 2 decades of serving your company as its chairman. All of Reliance's achievements have been on account of the fabulous team of leaders and professionals I have been fortunate to work with. I remain forever grateful to each and every one of them. When my senior colleagues and I look back, Reliance's story reads like an unputdownable book with never ending chapters of success. Every decade, every year, new chapters of achievements are getting added. We have collectively succeeded in growing Reliance from strength to greater strength only because each one of us in the leadership team have internalized the founder's mindset. What do I mean by the founder's mindset? It means working incessantly to preserve and further enrich the purpose, philosophy, and passion of Dhirubhai Ambani. I would like to state this philosophy in terms of 10 principles of building our unique leadership capital now and in the future. First, people capital. Reliance's greatest strength is our human assets, not just our financial assets. The greatest value creators are brains, not machines. Second, technology and innovation capital. In this age of exponential change, mastering latest technology is not an option. It is an imperative for survival and disruptive growth. Third, capability capital. Reliance judges its leaders by their expertise to plan, execute, review, and improve. Indeed, New India needs leaders whose capability must always exceed the complexity of the problem they are expected to solve. Fourth, achievement capital. Reliance rewards and honors overachievers, but aiming low is not acceptable. Fifth, relationship capital. We fully understand that people are not robots and money is not the sole motivation that drives them to deliver peak performance. Healthy interpersonal relations create happy organizations. Sixth, trust capital. Reliance places highest value on trustworthy people. For organizations as well, plus 1 becomes 11. When people cooperate and teams collaborate, it's an integral part of our SOP. Eighth, empathy capital. The world is increasingly coming around to realize that powers of the heart are superior to powers of a cold, rational mind. Compassionate capitalism needs compassionate leaders. Ninth, integrity capital. Honesty and uprightness are non negotiable principles at Reliance. And 10th, community engagement capital. Lastly, we recognize that serving the community that supports and sustains us is our corporate moral responsibility, not just a legal corporate social responsibility. These are the 10 tenets of leadership building in Reliance. By scrupulously following these 10 tenets, we have nurtured Reliance's unique institutional culture. It's because of this institutional culture that Reliance has so far been a super success. Maintaining this institutional culture to achieve perpetual growth is the most challenging task before our existing and tomorrow's leadership team. Dear shareholders, we are living in an era of technological breakthroughs at an unprecedented pace. For businesses that are agile and disruptive, this era offers unimaginable opportunities for growth and value creation. Others will become stagnant and get left behind. We have to be future focused with a firm resolve to make the future much brighter than our present and the past. That is why we must continually strengthen the culture and the foundation of our institution. But there is also another equally important reason which is compelling us to do so with utmost priority. With the completion of 75 years of freedom, our country will begin its march into the future with bolder and more confident steps. New India is poised to become one of the top 3 economies in the world with a size that can be 4 or 5 times bigger in the next few decades. It is not a question of if, but when. India's rising prosperity will create almost limitless multi decade growth opportunities for Reliance. Simultaneously, the developmental aspirations of 1.4 billion Indians are surging explosively. They want to live in a more inclusive India, a more equal India, in short, a better India. As a result of these two phenomena, New India will make ever higher demands on Reliance, indeed, on all big businesses. Reliance must quickly and vastly increase its contribution to the prosperity of India and the well being of all Indians. Therefore, aware of this enormous responsibility, are going to give our very best over the coming years to enrich Reliance's leadership capital and institutional culture. We are creating an operating model for all our businesses that will create value in perpetuity. Dear shareholders, at a time when a bright future is beckoning Reliance, what gives me optimism about ability to realize our dreams is our huge reservoir of young, dynamic, and best-in-class talent. Our next generation leaders are taking over the reins confidently across businesses, verticals, and horizontals. Akash and Isha have assumed leadership roles in geo and retail. They have been passionately involved in our consumer business since its inception. Anant has also joined in our new energy business with great zeal. In fact, he is spending most of his time in Jamnagar. All three have fully inherited our founder's mindset. They are first among equals in a young team of leaders and professionals who are already doing amazing things at Reliance. My leadership team is also empowering our next gen leaders by giving them a larger canvas to work on and greater responsibilities to fulfill. Of course, all of them are being mentored on a daily basis by our senior leaders, including myself and the board of directors. And let me add here that Reliance is forever hungry for top notch talent from India and around the world. We invite them with an assurance that they will enjoy the finest work environment in the world so that they can develop their innate potential in an unconstrained way. We already have professionals representing over 60 nationalities, and this pool of young talent will become even larger and deeper as our businesses become bigger and more global. All our next gen leaders are determined, focused, and brimming with fresh ideas and creativity. They think big and they think fast. They have the courage to dream as well as the ability to execute. And above all, they have humility, empathy, and they care. When I see them, I see Dhirubhai Ambani's pioneering spirit in action. I feel supremely confident that tomorrow's Reliance will have a better army of leaders, as should happen in any dynamic organization that empowers its young leaders. Together, they will script newer and more exciting chapters to Reliance's never ending book of achievements. I now call upon you to extend your blessings and best wishes to all of the hundreds of young leaders of Reliance, including Isha, Akash, and Anant. Dear stakeholders, I have always believed that the interests of an institution must always override those of any individual or family. Keeping this in mind, we will create a robust architecture for tomorrow's Reliance to ensure that it remains a united and well-integrated institution even as we develop our existing businesses and add new growth engines. This architecture will maximize the synergies among all our existing and new businesses. We have already put in place a fail-safe governance system to ensure accountability at all levels. We will keep on improving this system on a continuous basis to protect the interest of all our stakeholders. Even as I continue to provide hands-on leadership to your company as before, my existing team of leaders and I, along with our board of directors, shall dedicate ourselves to making the institutional culture of Reliance more robust, more resilient, more purpose-driven, and truly future-ready. And so that in the near term, Reliance more than doubles its value by the end of its golden decade in 2027 and thereafter continues to grow ever more rapidly. This is my solemn commitment to all of you, and I would like you to judge me and my existing and new leadership team by our performance. In this noble mission of Reliance to serve India and humanity, I seek Lord Krishna's blessings and your continued support. I would like to thank the central and the state governments, shareholders, investors, joint venture partners, lenders, suppliers, and customers for their consistent and resolute support. I thank all my colleagues on the board for their oversight in this crucial phase of our growth and their support and immense encouragement. I have special words to acknowledge the collective efforts of the entire Reliance team working tirelessly to create and sustain a world-class enterprise. Thank you.